So, Vulnerability to Viability Global Partnership is a network of more than 100 organizations, institutions, and individuals working collaboratively to facilitate the building of strong small-scale fisheries globally, but with specific focus in Africa and Asia. Issues of justice and injustice are core to the work that we do, and blue justice is a prominent area of focus. Small-scale fisheries communities with whom we work often talk about several sources and types of injustices that they face. First, historical injustice is deeply rooted in the past systems of feudalism, monarchy, colonialism, and variations of foreign rule. However, the remnants of these injustices are still visible in the current system of governance through top-down state control of fisheries resources at the cost of excluding small-scale fishers. These historical injustices are systemic in nature, so they are not easy to address, and it requires ongoing efforts and constant responses. Second, unexpected and emergent injustice. This appears as something that was not expected as part of the local discourses on injustice and demands for justice. For example, none of the fishers, just like us, had ever expected that COVID-19 would take place and snatch away many elements of the lives and livelihoods within small-scale fishery societies, thereby creating new types of vulnerabilities and injustices. Third, recurring and anticipated injustice. Those are those which fishers have come to expect to occur at certain intervals due to their routine and repetitive nature. The frequent example of this type of sources of injustice includes natural disasters, namely tropical cyclones and their manifold impacts. For example, recent estimates show that the Bay of Bengal region is experiencing an average of more than one supercyclone per year over the last decade or so. Fourth, blue growth-related injustice, also known as blue justice/injustice. This emanates from the economic development processes that seem to encroach into coastal fishery spaces and come in direct conflict with fishers' ideas and perceptions about what injustice means within the same space. The ingress of aquaculture into small-scale fishery space is a glaring example of how externally imposed economic development models tend to impact justice issues. The four different experiences of injustice, which include blue justice, may not be seen as standalone, as there are multiple threads of connections between them. In other words, historical, unexpected/emergent, recurring, and blue injustices and their sources tend to combine forces and act synergistically to create multiplier effects on small-scale fishery societies. Such impacts contribute to make justice issues deep-rooted in the context of small-scale fisheries. At V2V Global Partnership, we see justice/injustice issues as key determinants of vulnerability and viability, and the transition of small-scale fisheries communities from their vulnerable situation to viability. This would rely on how we can creatively and collaboratively respond to deep-rooted and emergent injustices and their sources through processes of knowledge co-production, knowledge mobilization, syntheses of experience and social learning, and capacity development at all levels. Thank you.